A few weeks ago, I took a last-minute assignment to shoot a documentary about forgotten roadside attractions on a remote highway. I thought it would be a good way to find inspiration far from the city. I was used to long drives, but I soon realized I had stepped into a world I didn't understand. I stopped at this old diner along the highway. I expected charm in the decay, but instead I felt a chill in the air. As I snapped photos, an old man suddenly appeared beside me. He looked rough, like he'd seen too much. He mumbled about the lost souls, and I laughed nervously. It was just an eccentric guy, I thought. Yet something about his sunken eyes made me uneasy. Over the next few days, I experienced strange things. At first, it was just flickering lights in the distance, nothing big. But soon, reflections in the diner windows began to unsettle me. I swear I saw shadows that didn't belong to anyone. My heart raced when that happened, but I brushed it off. Maybe I needed more coffee or I was just tired. One night I returned to my motel. I found eerie postcards left on the table, each detailing tragic accidents that had happened on that very highway. I felt my skin crawl as I read the stories of lost lives and vanished travelers. I started to wonder if I had stumbled onto something dark, something beyond my project. As I explored further, I felt like someone was watching me. I'd look back, but there was nobody there, just the empty road and overgrown grass. I thought fatigue was messing with my mind, but deep down, I felt something wasn't right. I kept going back to the diner, hoping to shake off the strange energy, but every visit pulled me deeper into a mystery I couldn't grasp. One evening, while standing outside the diner, I spotted a figure in the distance, just standing still. I rubbed my eyes, thinking it was my imagination. But no, he was real. He stared at me, his eyes unblinking. I took a step closer, trying to gauge if he was okay, but he just turned away. My heart was in my throat. I turned to run, but then I heard a whisper. It was faint. I couldn't catch all of it. I glanced back and he was gone, but I felt like a presence loomed in the darkness. That moment haunted me. I thought about it later, replaying the unseen whispers and that chilling stare. The diner, the postcards, they all clouded my mind. Had I walked into something I couldn't escape from? The longer I stayed, the more I felt enveloped in it. Driving away didn't feel like an escape. It felt like I was leaving a part of me behind. I think about that old man, the lost souls, and that figure. There was something bigger happening, and now I was stuck in the middle. I didn't want to go back, but I knew it wasn't over. The next morning, I decided I needed answers. The postcards weighed heavily on my mind. I couldn't just ignore the stories. I had to dig deeper. After breakfast, I returned to the diner, determined to find the old man. Maybe he could shed some light on the shadows that seemed to follow me. When I walked in, the diner felt colder than before. The air was thick with the smell of burnt coffee and grease. I scanned the room, but he wasn't there. Instead, the waitress gave me a strange look, like she recognized my unease. I hesitated, but I asked her if she'd seen the old man. "James?" she replied, her voice lower than a whisper. "You won't see him anymore. He's been gone for years." I was taken aback. "Gone? What do you mean gone?" She didn't answer. She just turned to wipe the counter, avoiding my gaze. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. It didn't make sense. Then I spotted something near the entrance. A newspaper clipping hung crookedly on the wall, yellowing with age. I approached it, my heart racing. The headline read, "Local man dies in mysterious accident." My breath caught in my throat as I read the details. It described how James had been known to warn travelers about the spirits on the highway, and then he'd perished under suspicious circumstances. I stepped back, reeling. Was he warning me? Suddenly, the lights flickered, startling me. I turned toward the window and my breath hitched again. There was that figure, standing in the distance once more. This time he seemed clearer, almost tangible. I wanted to call out, to ask what he wanted, but the words stuck in my throat. I watched him turn away and vanish into the thickening mist, my instincts screaming at me to follow. I left the diner in a rush, heart pounding. I moved toward the spot where I'd seen him, desperate for answers. but the road was empty, just as it had been before. I felt lost, adrift in this madness. The diner's warmth felt more like a distant memory now. Then I heard it again, a whisper, clearer this time, wrapping around me like ice. "Help me!" The voice drifted through the air, echoing between the trees that lined the highway. I turned back, scanning the area, but no one was there. Panic set in. Was I losing my mind? I was on the edge of the diner property when I noticed something strange on the ground. A piece of fabric, worn and tattered, caught my eye. It was a part of a shirt. I picked it up, heart racing as a wave of dread washed over me. That faint whisper echoed in my mind. "Help me." I turned back toward the diner, but now it felt different, as if it was pulsating with an energy that called to me. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I felt I had no choice. I had to dig deeper. Then everything went dark. The lights around me sputtered out, plunging me into shadows. I froze, fear coursing through my veins. I knew I wasn't alone. There was something, or someone, there with me, and I could feel it closing in. I stood frozen, the darkness closing in around me like a suffocating blanket. I could feel the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. It was as if the shadows had a pulse, humming with energy, waiting, watching. My heart thudded loudly in my ears. I wanted to scream, to run, but my feet felt glued to the ground. Then a rustling sound broke the silence. My instincts screamed at me to turn and bolt, but I needed to figure out what was happening. I took a shaky breath and strained to listen. The whispers had returned, but this time they were mixed with quiet laughter, like a twisted echo of the joy from a distant memory. "Help me," it continued, laced with panic. I withdrew my phone from my pocket, fumbling with the buttons before finally getting the flashlight on. The beam pierced the darkness, cutting a path through the shadows. The beam danced wildly as I aimed it around me, illuminating the thick trees lining the diner parking lot. At first there was nothing, just the smell of damp earth and the sound of rustling leaves. But then I caught a glimpse, something just at the edge of the light. My breath caught in my throat. It wasn't the figure from earlier, but a woman, her face obscured by hair matted with dirt. She stood there, her eyes wide with fear, mirroring my own terror. "Please," she whispered, her voice broken. "You have to help me." The moment her words reached me, something shifted in the air. It was electric, and I felt an overwhelming urge to understand. "What do you mean?" I managed to choke out, my voice trembling. The woman opened her mouth to speak, but before any sound could escape, the lights flickered back on, casting everything in an uncomfortable fluorescence, and she vanished. The sudden glare sent me reeling, disorienting me. Had I imagined her? I steadied myself, trying to process the swirling emotions swirling inside me. That was when my gaze fell on something next to the diner. A piece of wood, broken and old, lay beside the entrance. It looked just like the ones I'd seen in the newspaper article about James. My heart raced as I approached it. When I picked it up, I saw the faded letters etched into its surface. A name. Emma. A chill coursed through my body. Was this woman connected to James? Why were the names intertwined? It felt like so many threads were pulling me deeper into a web I couldn't escape. I could almost hear the whispers again, sweetly beckoning me to follow. Just then, the door to the diner swung open. The waitress appeared, her face pale, eyes wide with concern. "You shouldn't be out here," she said hurriedly. "Leave now, while you still can." Her urgency sent a jolt through me. "What do you know?" I asked, desperate for answers. She shook her head, her voice urgent. "It's not safe. They don't want you here." Before I could respond, the lights flickered once more, casting shadows that seemed to writhe and beckon. I felt a cold breath on my neck, an invitation or a warning. In that moment, I knew I'd gone too deep into a darkness where I had no idea what awaited me next. The question now was, should I heed her warning or plunge further into the mystery? I hesitated, caught between the waitress's warning and the magnetic pull of the mystery. The whispers in my mind echoed with urgency, promising answers if only I dared to step closer to the edge of the darkness. Yet the waitress's fear was palpable. "Please," I said, desperation creeping into my voice. "What's happening? Who's Emma?" Her gaze flickered behind me, and she shook her head as if to dismiss her own terror. "You need to forget her. Forget this place." But I couldn't. Something deep inside compelled me. Before I could think better of it, I stepped away from the safety of the diner and into the shadows. The air thickened as I moved, and I clutched the piece of wood tighter, feeling its rough edges dig into my palm. The trees formed a menacing canopy above me, their branches creaking as if whispering secrets I was not meant to hear. I could barely see, but that didn't stop me from searching for any trace of the woman. The last flicker of her fear still echoed in my mind. Then, I heard it again. "Help me." I froze, my heart pounding. A different voice, but eerily similar. I followed the sound into the park area behind the diner, where the darkness seemed to swallow the light whole. My flashlight flickered. I slapped it against my hand, praying it would hold out just a little longer. In the damp grass, I noticed a small makeshift altar. Things were strewn about, strings of beads, old photographs, and what looked like a locket. I bent down, heart racing, and picked up the locket. It was cold, and as I opened it, a swirl of emotions rushed through me. The picture inside was faded, but I recognized her immediately. It was the woman, the face from my visions. "Emma," I breathed, my voice a mere whisper. Just then, a sharp crack echoed through the silence. I looked up, heart racing, and saw movement further down the path leading deeper into the woods. Shadows danced, twisting in ways that didn't seem natural. Someone, or something, was there. The whispers grew louder, more chaotic. "Help us! Find us!" I turned to retreat, ready to run back to the safety of the diner, but my feet wouldn't move. A presence, cold and sinister, seemed to hold me in place. I could feel it watching me, studying me. The laughter returned, sinister and echoing, mingling with the pleas for help. And then I saw it, a flicker of movement, a flash of a face just beyond the trees. It looked like the woman, but she was only a shadow, shifting in and out of sight. I felt the urge to call out, but the words were caught in my throat. Before I could react, the shadows lunged forward and the world around me darkened even more. "Run!" The shout came from the diner, the waitress. My instincts kicked in. I bolted toward her, tearing back through the suffocating darkness, arms flailing as I raced to safety. As I turned to look back, I caught a glimpse of a figure standing among the trees, its silhouette blurred yet familiar. They pointed a trembling finger toward me. My heart sank. Who were they? "Get out!" The waitress screamed again, urgency cutting through the chaos. I stumbled to a stop, my heart pounding relentlessly, trapped between curiosity and fear. I couldn't leave, not when I felt this thread connecting me to the past. But I also couldn't shake the feeling that whatever was watching me wanted something far more sinister. I dashed forward knowing I couldn't ignore the darkness any longer. I burst through the door of the diner, panting and drenched in cold sweat. The waitress grabbed my arm, her grip tightening like a vice. "What did you see?" she demanded, her eyes wide, filled with an urgent intensity. I shook my head, still trying to catch my breath. "I don't know. Just shadows. And a voice. It said, 'Emma.'" She finished for me, her voice barely above a whisper. The memories of my vision flooded back. Her face, the locket. What happened to her? Why are you so afraid? She jerked her gaze toward the window, eyes darting as if expecting something to burst through at any moment. "You don't understand. Emma was linked to the darkness. She was taken, just like the others." "Others?" My stomach twisted at the thought. Her eyes softened for a moment, but terror quickly reclaimed them. "She wasn't the first. People go missing around here. No one talks about it. But the woods, they call to those who are lost." "Is that why you didn't want me to go out there?" "Yes." The urgency in her voice increased. "You think you can handle this? You think you can help her? You can't. You need to leave, now." Another crash resonated outside. My heart dropped as I turned to the door. Shadows flitted past the window. Something was out there watching. "Please, just listen." The waitress's voice trembled. "Get in your car and drive. Don't stop for anything." "Not without answers," I blurted, defiance swelling inside me. "I can't just run away." She stepped back, frustration mingling with fear. "You think answers will save you? They'll lead to more questions, more darkness." Before I could respond, the lights flickered. The diner's familiar warmth felt suddenly hollow. Then, the whispers returned, more urgent, more desperate. "Help us! Find us! We have to!" Another loud crash jolted through the air, louder than the last. I could feel the floor tremble beneath my feet. The waitress turned pale, her breath hitching. "No, they've found you." Panic surged through me. "Who?" I demanded, gripping the edge of the table for support. Suddenly, the front door flew open with a loud bang, and cold air rushed in. A figure stood framed in the doorway, barely visible in the gloom, wearied and worn. I squinted, trying to make sense of the shadow. "Help me!" The voice was hoarse, strained. My breath caught in my throat. The figure took a step forward, barely illuminated by the diner's flickering neon. It was her, the woman from my visions. Emma. But before I could scream, the figure collapsed onto the floor unconscious. The room plunged into frenetic chaos. I rushed to her side, ignoring the waitress's warnings, my heart hammering as I knelt beside Emma. As I reached out to touch her shoulder, the lights flickered again and all the whispers ceased. An eerie silence enveloped us, pressing down like a weight. And then, in that stillness, I felt it. Cold fingers wrapped around my wrist. I froze, the blood draining from my face as the shadow loomed, pulsing with dark energy. "Find us," it hissed, its voice echoing in the crevices of my mind. Everything went black. I gasped as the darkness swallowed me whole. For a moment I was weightless, as if I was floating in a void. The world around me faded. Then, a sharp pain shot through my wrist, jerking me back to reality. Light stabbed my eyes, bright and disorienting. I blinked, my surroundings coming back into focus. I was still in the diner, but everything felt different. The hum of the neon sign buzzed loudly in my ears, and the waitress was gone. Emma lay unconscious beside me, and fear gripped my heart. "Emma," I whispered, shaking her gently. "Wake up." My hands trembled as I brushed the hair from her face. She looked pale, almost ethereal under the diner's harsh lights. But she didn't stir. A low rumble echoed outside, shaking the diner again. I hurried to the window, peering out into the night. The shadows loomed larger, twisting oddly in the fading moonlight, and I swore I saw faces moving within the darkness. They watched, waiting. I turned back to Emma, desperate. What do I do? Then I remembered the locket, the one I had seen in my vision. "Please, Emma, you have to help me." As if in response, she gasped and opened her eyes. They were wide with fear, darting around the diner as if she was searching for something. For a moment I thought I might lose her again. "Help," she croaked. "They're coming." "Who?" I asked, pulse racing. "Shadows." Her voice broke. "We have to get out." Before I could process her words, Emma tried to rise, but her strength faltered. I slid my arm around her waist, supporting her as we stumbled toward the kitchen exit. We needed to move. The clatter of dishes echoed ominously in the background like eerie applause. "Emma, what happened to you? What are they?" I pressed, glancing back at the shaking door. The oppressive weight of whatever was out there bore down on me. She looked at me with a mixture of terror and knowledge. "They're the ones who took me. They won't stop until they have more." "More?" I felt a chill slide down my spine. "You mean more people?" She nodded weakly. "You have to understand. When the shadows find you, it's not always about one person. They take what they want, and they want us." I felt cold dread curl in my stomach. Would I be next? Suddenly, a loud bang echoed from the front of the diner. The floor trembled again, and the shadow I thought I'd lost surged through the door. My heart sank as I realized it wasn't alone. Dark figures poured in like a wave, swirling and pulsating with energy. "Run!" Emma screamed, pulling me toward the back door. But it was too late. My instincts screamed at me to turn and fight, but the overwhelming sense of dread sent me running instead. Shadows flickered around us, their whispers creeping into the edges of my mind, mingling with my panic. Just as I reached the back door, I looked back, and that's when I saw it. The shadow moved closer, and within its depths, something familiar glinted. A locket. "Emma!" I shouted, my voice cracking. "It's your locket!" In that heartbeat, the shadow surged forward, reaching for us. I grabbed Emma, and we burst through the back door into the night. But just outside, something else was waiting. Something from my past. I stumbled out into the cool night air, dragging Emma along with me. My breath came in quick gasps as fear clouded my mind. The darkness seemed to twist around us, and I felt like I was being watched from every angle. But that wasn't the threat. The ghost of my past loomed just ahead. I blinked in disbelief, my heart dropping. "Mark," I breathed. He stood there, an unsettling grin plastered on his face, just like I remembered him from years ago. "What are you doing here?" My voice shook. The last time I'd seen him was all those years ago, in the aftermath of that fateful night. The night everything changed. The shadows danced behind him, and he stepped closer, oblivious to my fear. "I don't know how long it's been since we last saw each other. Remember the fun we had?" Emma tensed beside me. "You know him?" she whispered. He was my friend." I fought to keep my voice steady. "But he disappeared. No one knew what happened to him." "And now I'm back," he said, an edge of something not quite right in his tone. "The shadows brought me here to help you. Help." The very thought sent chills down my spine. "Help how?" "By returning what was taken," he answered, his eyes flickering to Emma. "They want her locket." Emma's fingers instinctively went to her neck. "You don't understand. I need it to stay." "Stay what?" I asked, afraid of the answer. "Safe." She looked at me, panic rising in her eyes. "Without it, they'll—" "Enough!" Mark cut her off, his smile fading. "You're a liability. They can't have you running around free. The locket is a doorway, and it's time to close it." The shadows hissed behind him, almost like they were eager to act. A cold realization hit me. "You're working for them. You're not Mark. You're something else." His smile returned, but it was sharp and twisted. "Oh, I'm still Mark. Just evolved, I guess. A better version of myself." I took a step back, pulling Emma closer. "I won't let you take her." "Oh, but you don't have a choice." The shadows surged forward, closing in on us. I could feel the heat of their presence, the way they absorbed the light around us. "Emma!" I shouted, and for a moment she seemed to fade away, consumed by a flicker of despair. "I can't," she whispered. "I can't let them take me." Nerves shot through my body, pushing me into action. "We need to get out of here." I yanked Emma's hand, but the shadows twisted their way around us. As I looked back, Mark's form shifted, darkening like the very shadows he commanded. "You can run, but you'll never escape. They know where you are." My heart raced. I had to buy us time. "Get to the car," I yelled, turning to face the advancing shadows. They crept closer, their whispers clawing at my sanity. I could feel the weight of their gaze on me, but I wouldn't back down. I couldn't. Then, I caught a glint of light, a distant, flickering beacon in the dark. Something within me sparked, a connection to the strange vision I had before. "Emma, go!" As she ran for the car, I stepped forward, facing Mark. "You may have changed, but you're not taking her." Then I realized I never truly lost my fight. And in that moment, it was time to reclaim it. The shadows surged, ready to engulf me, but I stood firm, ready to confront whatever they'd unleashed. Before I could think, the darkness crashed into me. In an instant, the world around me shattered into darkness. It wasn't like closing my eyes. It felt more like falling into a chasm. I gasped, the air thick and cold, as I tumbled through an abyss of uncertainty. I tried to scream, but sound failed me. And then everything went numb. When I finally felt the ground beneath my feet again, I was disoriented, standing alone in a fog. The shadows had receded, but I could sense that they were still lurking nearby. I scanned my surroundings, heart pounding in my chest. A narrow highway stretched before me, lit by the pale glow of moonlight. "Emma!" I called, panic rising again. Where was she? I remembered her running for the car, but now there was no sign of it. The darkness had swallowed us both. As I stepped forward, something caught my eye. There, shimmering in the moonlight, was the outline of a figure on the side of the road. I froze. It was a woman, her silhouette hazy and ethereal. "Help me," she pleaded, the words barely above a whisper. "Who are you?" My voice shook. "Where's Emma?" But she didn't answer. Instead, her gaze drifted past me, filled with haunting desperation. "They want her too." I stepped back, the gravity of her words sinking in. I felt a cold breeze brush past me, carrying the sound of whispers, like a chorus beckoning from the shadows. My stomach twisted in knots as realization hit me. This wasn't just about Emma anymore. It was about something much bigger, something I still didn't understand. I turned to flee but found my legs rooted to the spot. The woman reached for me, her hand trembling, like she was trying to grasp onto something solid. "You must take care of it," she urged, her eyes wide with urgency. "The locket, don't let it fall into their hands." Then, the shadows slinked closer again, creeping along the road like tendrils of smoke. I felt their pull, the urge to succumb to their debilitating darkness clawing at my mind. My breath quickened. I had to run, to get back to where I had last seen her. But as I darted into the night, I was struck anew by the weight of fear crashing down on me. The pulsing shadows, the woman's warning. It spun in my mind like a vortex, dragging me deeper into the unknown. Just ahead, I spotted the car. It was parked strangely, the headlights flickering like a signal. My heart raced and I sprinted towards it. When I reached the driver's side, my palms slammed against the window, but it was empty. Panic threatened to swallow me. That's when I saw it. The locket. It lay on the dashboard, gleaming like a beacon, untouched by the shadows. I reached for it, feeling an inexplicable force urging me to take it. But just as my fingers brushed the surface, a voice echoed from behind me. "You shouldn't have come back." I froze, the chill of recognition creeping back in. It was Mark. Only now, he wasn't smiling. Before I could respond, the locket pulsed with light, illuminating the darkness around me. The shadows recoiled, hissing like trapped animals. But it was too late. Mark came closer, and I knew the confrontation was far from over. The shadows writhed, and I was caught once more between light and dark, with Emma's fate hanging in the balance. "Get away from her!" Mark's voice rang out like thunder, shattering the eerie calm. I whipped around, adrenaline coursing through me. The locket continued to glow, a shield against the looming darkness, but Mark's expression twisted into something darker. "You think that thing can protect you?" he taunted, stepping closer. Each step felt heavy, resonating through the air like a drumroll of impending doom. "You don't even know what it really is." "Where's Emma?" I shouted, desperation clawing at my throat. My eyes darted around. The shadows seemed to pulse in rhythm with my panic. I could still feel their presence, a blanket of fear hanging over me. "She's not your concern anymore," Mark replied, his voice dropping to a whisper. "You need to understand what's happening." Before I could process his words, something flickered in the corner of my eye. I turned to find the woman standing there again, her translucent features shimmering in the locket's light. "You have to trust me," she pleaded, urgency fueling her gaze. "They'll take her if they find out you have it." "Who are you? What do you want?" I felt the weight of her presence, as if she'd pulled me into her world, a distraction from the danger that loomed behind me. Mark scoffed. "She's not your ally. She's part of this. Don't be fooled." "No," I shouted, swinging toward him. "I don't know what any of this means. You're the one who brought all this to me." "Enough," he snapped, anger flashing in his eyes. "You have no idea what you're doing." In that moment, the shadows surged forward, ravenous and wild. I could almost see their forms, eyes glinting, mouths forming twisted smiles. The locket flickered, its light dimming just as the shadows moved closer. "Hold on to it," the woman urged, and I grasped it tightly, feeling its cold metal against my palm. "Mark, if you know how to stop them, tell me," I pleaded, feeling the pull of the shadows even more strongly now. "Stop being so naive," he shouted back. "You can't save her. You don't even know what the locket does." At that moment, the shadows lunged. My heart raced and instinct sparked. I raised the locket in front of me, and to my shock, it flared with light, exploding in dazzling brilliance. The shadows hissed and staggered back, as if seared by its radiance. "Fool!" Mark cried as his face contorted into rage. "You don't know what you're unleashing. It's not just light." With my heart pounding against my ribs, I sensed the atmosphere shift. The whispers became frantic, coiling around me like a storm. The woman's figure flickered and began to fade, her voice stretching thin. "Hold on to it," she called out, her image losing substance fast. "Emma needs you." I looked back at Mark, fury and betrayal making me bold. "If you cared about her, you would help me." He stepped closer, his expression filled with conflict, as if he was grappling with something deep inside. But the shadows closed in once more, and I could feel their cold breath at my back. Then everything turned dark again, blanketing the highway. I felt the locket's pull, its power in my hand. My feet moved before my mind could catch up. I turned and ran, hoping against hope that wherever this path led, Emma would be there waiting for me. The darkness felt alive, crawling over my skin like a living shroud as I sprinted down the deserted highway. My heart thundered in my ears, driven by adrenaline and fear. I didn't know where Emma was, or if she was still safe, but I couldn't afford to think about that now. I had to keep moving, escape the shadows that seemed determined to claim me. I glanced back, expecting the swirling darkness to consume me at any moment. Instead, I saw a flicker of light behind me. The locket, pulsing rhythmically in response to my panic. Its glow carved a path through the suffocating black, urging me towards something. Perhaps the answers I desperately sought. Ahead, the muffled whispers of the shadows echoed around me, promising to take me if I faltered. I pushed harder, my breath hot against my throat. Images rushed through my mind. Emma's terrified eyes, the distorted face of Mark, the ephemeral woman pleading for help. Each pushed me onward, igniting a flicker of hope in the depths of despair. Was I running toward salvation or a deeper darkness? I couldn't tell. The locket in my grasp thrummed with a strange energy, as if trying to communicate. "You have to trust me," I whispered to it, half believing the absurdity of my words. Suddenly, there she was, a glimpse of movement just ahead. Emma. Relief and terror surged within me. She stood with her back to me, gazing out into the shifting shadows that lapped at the edges of her vision. "Emma!" I shouted, but she didn't turn. My heart sank again. I rushed forward, reaching out as panic clawed at my throat. "I'm right here. We need to get out." I could feel the shadows closing in, hungry and relentless. When she finally turned, the look on her face betrayed her fear. "You shouldn't have come," she cried, eyes darting as if she sensed something lurking behind me. No, listen," I said, moving closer. "I have the locket. It can help us. We can't let them take us." But Emma shook her head. "It's more complicated than that. You don't know what it does." Her voice wavered, and I could see tears glistening in her eyes. "Then tell me," I pleaded, desperation rising. "Tell me how to fight back." The shadows swirled angrily at my feet, a storm of darkness preparing to strike. "We need to break the hold they have," she urged, and I nodded, holding the locket tightly. "Okay," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Let's do this together." As she stepped closer, I could hear the whispers grow frantic, almost panicked. "Help us! Don't let her go!" The chorus echoed around us, gripping the air with a sinister urgency. I felt the cold fingers of shadow brush against my calves. It was time to act. I raised the locket high, channeling every ounce of belief into it. "This is for us," I shouted, plunging it into the center of the darkness around us. A blast of radiant light erupted, forcing the shadows back. For a fleeting second, I could see their true forms, a swirling mass of faces twisted in agony, yearning and hungry for release. I swallowed hard, feeling their despair entwine with mine. But this wasn't just about me. It was about Emma too. "Stay with me," I cried, the light of the locket illuminating our surroundings. She surged toward me, eyes wide and determined. "We have to push them back. Focus." Her voice rang out, mingling with the light. Together, we stood united, the glow pushing against the encroaching darkness. Slowly, the whispers dwindled into fearful silence, the shadows retreating. "Feel their pain," Emma commanded, and I did. I let it flow through me, understanding that what they sought was release, not just from this world but from their haunting past. That's when the woman reappeared beside us, shimmering in the light. Her face was serene yet pained. "Help them. Guide them home." Her gaze locked on mine with an intensity that shook my core. I nodded, the truth settling within me. "Together we can set you free," I whispered, channeling all the emotions coursing through me. The pain, fear, desperation, hope, and love. The locket pulsed brighter, and I felt Emma beside me, her strength radiating alongside mine. As we held the light, I could feel the shadows writhing, their cries morphing from desperate to mournful. We weren't just fighting for our survival anymore. We were giving them the chance they never had. As the illumination swelled, the darkness began to fracture, light filling the fissures, illuminating the faces that had once been lost. "Go!" Emma cried, and together we shouted, "You're free!" With one last surge of light, the shadows erupted into a cascade of sparkles, dissolving into nothingness. The air lightened, the ominous weight lifting from my shoulders. "Did we do it?" I gasped, breathless. Emma nodded slowly, and the woman smiled. "You freed them, and yourselves." But as the warmth of victory settled in, a chill snaked around my heart. Questions clawed at the edges of my mind. Had we truly set them free? Would the darkness linger, watching, waiting to reclaim its hold? "Emma, My voice faltered, uncertainty creeping in as reality settled around us. I didn't know what awaited outside this moment, nor whether what we faced in the shadows might return. A low rumble echoed in the distance. Inexplicably, the air shifted, leaving an unsettling taste on my tongue. The woman stayed for a heartbeat longer, then faded into the soft glow of the locket. I watched her dissolve, a bittersweet expression on her ethereal face. Emma turned to me, uncertainty mirrored in her gaze. "We're free, aren't we?" "I think so," I replied, trembling. But doubt lingered. "But what does that mean?" As we stood there, bereft of answers with only silence echoing back, I understood that the road ahead was shrouded with more questions than clarity. The true nature of our experience, the line between shadows and light, was still veiled in ambiguity. And I realized, even as I held the locket against my chest, that some mysteries may never find resolution. I could only hope that whatever darkness might linger stayed buried from us, at least for a little while longer. Together, we took one last look at the highway ahead, hinting at an uncertain journey, before stepping forward into the fog of the unknown.